Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Mrs. Ganassi. Today we're working in the greenhouse again, and as you can see, I'm feeling very green and blooming. So today we're going to do a lesson about planting our seeds in rows to get them started and then to transplant them. I've already started to cultivate some seeds, but I want to show you what you would do at your houses to start the seeds that we've been talking about. So what you're going to need is a container, and again, I use these sort of tin containers, but it doesn't have to be this. It could be a plastic container. It could be something that could be an old pot that your family might have that a plant was in. It doesn't matter, as long as it's something that we can start growing something in before we transplant them to where we want them to grow. So today we're going to work with the seeds that we have been talking about. Tomato. Who else? Oh, pepper. I hear somebody screaming pepper. One more. Cucumber. Excellent. And we're going to also plant some beans. Who here eats beans? Oh, a lot of you friends eat beans. That's great. Beans are very healthy for your body. And you can make lots of things with beans. Bean salad, chili, beans mixed in some kind of soup. So beans are very nutritious. So we're going to do those 4 today. And the way that we're going to do them is the exact same way in each container. So the first thing we're going to need is a container. So that's going to be number 1. Number 2 is we're going to need this brown stuff. What's this brown stuff called? Smells good too. Oh, so many of you are saying it. Soil. Soil. Now, what I did was I used my shovel, and I already put some soil in each of my containers. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 tins here with soil. And as a rule of thumb, green thumb gardeners, we would only be filling the whatever our planting container is halfway with soil. We need to cover them afterwards, and we want to make sure we have enough room. So in this container, I have a bunch of soil, and I think Mrs. Ganassi may have put just a little bit too much. And I want to make sure there are no big chunks of soil. If there are, you can break them up with your fingers like this. Don't be afraid of working with your hands in the soil. Some of you know that you can wear gardening gloves, which I do sometimes, for certain plantings, but your hands are fine. Soil's not going to do anything. And while you're doing that, you can actually feel if there's anything in the soil mixed in that you might not want in there. Sometimes there might be a stick. We don't really need it, but we can add it to our mulch. So Mrs. Ganassi is going to throw it outside there, add it to her mulch. So now I have a pretty good half layer filled in my tin. And the next thing would be, we want to use our pointer finger. Everybody show me your pointer finger. Ooh, I see you. I am pointing at, ooh, look at all those fingers pointing at me. And you're going to be making rows. Rows. And I would say in these containers, you would get 3 rows, depending upon the size. If you were using something like this, which is also another big container, some people would be cooking in this, and then you'd recycle it, you could make more rows. But because I'm using this size, we're going to make 3 rows. So I'm going to take my finger, and I'm going to gently just sort of make like a little trowel right there. I'm going to go there and make like a little stream, we could call it. You'll notice it because it goes down, and it's the other soil that you're taking out, you can put along the edge. So that's number 1. Then we're going to do number 2. Here we go. I'm going to take my excess soil, maybe throw it over into another pot for now. And then number 3. There we go. So now I have 3 rows that I've made with my finger. 3. So let's see if I can show you that. You could see those rows. 1, 2, everybody say it, 3. And they're nice and deep. Just checking. You could do this as a gardener. There's no magic thing. You just want to make sure you get it deep. And then I'm going to get my seed packet. And my first one is going to be this one. Who can tell me what it is? Great job. Cucumbers. We know cucumbers are a vegetable. We know we can eat the skin on the cucumber as long as we wash everything before we eat it. We know that the seeds are edible, meaning that when you slice a cucumber and if there's seeds inside, you can eat them. It will not bother your belly. Or sometimes moms will buy and dads will buy seedless cucumbers, and then there are no seeds in there. But these are the seeds. I'm going to pour them into my hand here. I'm cupping my hand, making sure they're all in my hand. And I'm going to take my pinching fingers and I'm going to drop them in row number 1, just like that, so they're not close to each other. We want them not to be arguing with each other. We want them to be happy campers, meaning that they all have space, just like our bodies. We want space for our bodies when we're with our friends, when we're in a line. We don't want to be anybody pushing us. So just like the seeds want space, giving them some room there and spreading them out. Great. So I have 3 rows of cucumber seeds in here now. And who could tell Mrs. Ganassi, please? Somebody obviously that has a great thumb. What do we do next? That's amazing. That was great. Great answer. Cover them up. We want to put them to sleep. So I'm going to take my shovel and I'm going to put some soil right on top of those rows, just like this, so that we do not see the seeds any longer. The seeds are now all covered, feeling good. Like I always say, we put them to bed. They're going to sleep. They're going to germinate while they're sleeping now. And then I'm going to gently, did you notice the word I just said? Gently pat them down, just to make sure the soil is down and they are ready. Who could tell me now what I need to do? Oh, my friend right here? Yes. Water them, because they're feeling what? Thirsty. I'm feeling a little thirsty. The greenhouse is a little hot, but I have my doors open so I get some air. So I'm going to take my watering, what do we call this? Watering can. And I'm going to give some water to the cucumber seeds so that they feel hydrated and no longer feel thirsty. We can use a watering can with this because it's a lot more soil, and the depth, meaning how deep it is, it doesn't matter if it gets too much water. Some things we use our sprayer and some things we would use a watering can. So those are our cucumber seeds. And I'm going to use the packet to identify them, like that. And where should they be? Somebody tell me. Exactly. They're in the greenhouse, so they're getting light from the roof, the sides, the doors, sunlight, UV light is coming down on them. And I will check on them to make sure that they need water every day by putting my finger on the soil to see if it's dry or still moist. All right, cucumbers are planted. Mrs. Ganassi is going to move them and put them on the side here in my greenhouse. And now we're going to be on our second planting. I filled my tin up. How much soil, friends? Halfway. You are the best. What finger am I going to use to make my rows? Very good. I heard everybody say pointer. I'm going to clap. Great job. And how many rows am I going to make in this? It's the same size as what look at that, 3. So here I go. I'm going to take my pointer. I'm going to make my row. I'm going to move the soil over a little bit. So I have 1. Now I'm going to do 2. And friends, when you get all your supplies ready, you're going to remember that soil halfway, and then 3 rows if you're using a container this shape. This is going to contain the seeds of Everybody said it. Tomato. And what color is a tomato? Very good. Red. And here's my question to you. Is a tomato classified as a fruit or a vegetable? You're right. Fruit. Because it has seeds and it grows from a flower. I have some tomato plants growing here, which I'll pick one up to show. Oh, it's a little heavy, Mrs. Ganassi. Here we have one started. And that's on its way, and there's a yellow flower in there. So that's the flower, and then the tomato will form. Just wanted to show you quickly. All right. I'm going to cup my hand, pour the seeds into my hand. I don't want to lose any. Remember, friends, if we drop seeds on the ground, it might not be easy to find them because they're not very big. So we always want to be careful when we're taking our seeds out. And now I'm going to take my seeds and I'm going to put them in the rows. Am I putting them right next to each other? Good job. I heard a bunch of you say, no, we're spreading them out right into the row because we don't want them to be arguing or feel uncomfortable that they're so close to each other's body. We want to give space. Space is good. We want to distance ourselves with space. So now our seeds are there. Let me just fix my door. One moment, my friends. Thank you. And I have applied all my seeds in the 3 rows. What comes next? Beautiful. Everybody said it. Soil on top. So I'm going to take my shovel and I'm going to put the soil on top so that I don't see any of the seeds any longer. And they're all covered up, ready to sleep, ready to grow, ready to, what's our word? Germinate. We don't want to put our seeds way down. Remember, we just want to lay them gently on top of the soil. What do we do after we've done this? Thank you. Pat it down gently. You can use your shovel or you can use your hands. Pat it down. And then how are these seeds feeling? Excellent. Thirsty. So we're going to use our watering can and give some water to our tomatoes who are now ready to sleep and get ready to grow or germinate so that we can start planting our tomato into bigger containers. Very good. Okay, so I'm going to use my packet to label this tray as tomatoes, and I'm going to put it on my shelf. Next, we are going to do tray number 3. It is filled how much? Halfway. What's the first thing I need to do now? Unbelievable. Make rows. How many? 3. All right. What finger am I using? Oh, there's something I don't want. Throw it right up there. All right. 1, 2. Got that finger? 3. 3 rows. 3 rows for my next seed. And again, I'm taking my fingers and I'm pushing the soil just a little bit, making sure. And our next seed is the pepper, the green pepper. Now, I'm going to show you the picture of that. That's our pepper, right here, pepper. These are pepper seeds. And here's our picture. And I'm going to take the seeds, empty them into the palm of my hand. Make sure I don't drop any because seeds are so precious. And I'm going to take them, my pinching fingers, and sprinkle them in row number 1. There they go. Row number 2. And because I've been saving my pepper seeds from all the peppers that I've been eating, because I love to eat peppers, I'm going to use the rest of my seeds in row number 3. A little more in row number 2. We don't want too many in there. Just enough. Give them space. Remember, space is important. And now, who can tell me, after putting my seeds in, what's the next step? Beautiful. Cover them with soil. So I'm going to take my soil and gently cover them. Look at this, Mrs. Ganassi. You're like pros now. You know every step. And so that we don't see any seeds. I don't want to see any of those pepper seeds because they need to be warm when they grow. Oh, chunks of soil. Let's break them apart with our hands. All right, maybe one more scoop, Mrs. Ganassi. There we go. There, 2 more. There we go. Okay. And now, what's after we put our soil? Pat them down. I didn't even ask yet, and you already told me. Pack them down with your shovel or with your hands. Ooh, those seeds are probably so happy now. And what are they calling? What are they saying? I need. Because water. Amazing. Watering can. And I'm going to give my peppers some water so they don't feel thirsty. Oh, I'm starting to get thirsty. It's hot out here. Thirsty. There they go. And now I'm going to label it with the sign that says peppers. And I'm going to put that on a shelf. Very good, Mrs. Ganassi. And our last, do we have one more? No, we have 2 more actually. Yeah, no, we have 1 more. Our last one, I wanted to make sure that you can see this. You know what we're going to do? We're going to take this and maybe we'll put it on top. There we go. That might be good so you can see it. We have our soil filled in the tray about halfway. You tell me now. I want to know from you. What do I do? Okay. Make rows. What finger am I using? Pointer. Okay. How many? 3. Beautiful. So I have 1, 2, 3. 3 rows. Then I take my hands and just so I make a nice little deep little thing in there, like a little place for them to sleep. Like a little, there we go, little bed. Okay. 3 rows. Now, we're going to be planting today. What are these things? Green beans. Who here eats green beans? I do. I love green beans. I like them cold, of course washed, and cooked green beans are really good too. Delicious. So I'm going to open my bean packet up, and I'm going to pour it into what part of my hand is that? Palm. You guys are great. Ooh, look at these beans. Sort of black. Show you. And I'm going to take my beans and I'm going to put them in the rows again. Should they touch each other? No. You know what? I don't even need to say anything. You're doing such an amazing job here. I love the way you're listening and working. If you're doing this with me, I hope I'm not going too fast for you, but you can always watch it again. And we did the same thing with each tray. We planted cucumbers, peppers, tomatoes, and now beans. So now I have my beans laying in the rows. And what do I need to do? Cover them up with soil. You are amazing. I think you are the best green thumb gardeners I've ever seen. And I'm taking my soil so that you don't see those beans sleeping in there anymore. The beans are going to be covered up nice and comfy, saying, "Oh, I can't wait to grow. I can't wait to grow so tall and then be eaten. So delicious." So, I've covered my beans. There we go. And now what do I do after I cover them? Who could tell me? One at a time, please. Pat them down. Gently, gently. We don't want to do it too strong. Gently. We're going to pat them down gently. Beautiful. And then what do they need? Who can tell Mrs. Ganassi? What do they need now? Water. You guys are great. Water. So I'm going to take my watering can and I'm going to give them water so that they say, that makes me feel happy. I don't feel thirsty anymore, Mrs. Ganassi. I am ready to go to sleep and start to grow, or, what's our word? Germinate. Excellent. And now I'm going to label that with our beans, our bean packet, which is right here. Shows what we planted, because we call that a gardening stake if it's on a stick, or we just label it. And I'm going to put it on a shelf to start growing. There we go. We have room there. Now, we have planted 4 different things. Everybody tell me, what did we plant today? Okay. Excellent. Cucumber, green pepper, beans, and the last one, tomato. Which one is different from those? Oh, unbelievable. Tomato, because the tomato is a fruit, and the beans, the cucumber, and the peppers are a vegetable. Now, before we leave our class today, I just want to give you a quick glimpse of our root view. It's right here on my gardening bench. Show that to you. Again, a carrot is a what kind of vegetable? Root. I'm going to lift off the plastic piece and let's see if we see more growth. Do you see more growth in there? Look at the top now. Look at the top of our carrots. Do you see the greenery? The greenery's coming up. And all of these are roots that are going to be carrots. So they're doing great. And who remembers, where do we water them from? Do we water them from the... I'm sorry. A bunch of you were just saying, no. We water them from the tray at the bottom. We want the wicks to drink up the water so that they don't get overwatered. So because they're a root vegetable and they grow underneath the soil, I'm going to put our covering back on here so that's dark. So it's dark and the only thing exposed is the green, but I'm not pulling them out yet because they're not carrots. And I want to show you our eggshell garden, which is still germinating. Mrs. Ganassi is going to bring it over. We have our shells with our soil and our seeds. And with these, we use a mister to mist. And again, they need a little longer because it's going to take 14 days for germination to start coming. And we will keep our eye on these. All right. Now, friends, I gave you homework. Our homework is to make sure you're saving your egg shells because we're going to need these for our next class. And we're going to need them whether they're white eggshells, which is white, or the brown. So, keep saving those eggshells after your family eats eggs until we're ready to use them. All right. So, I would like to tell you all that you did an amazing job today. You know how to plant all these seeds and start them. And the 3 things that a plant needs are, tell me, my friends, water, which we give them in our watering can or our sprayer, or if they're outside, they get the rain from the sky. What else do they need? Light. And in the greenhouse, we know because it had sun and lights coming in, it's going to get that. And then what's the last thing that a plant needs? Very good. I saw a bunch of you going like this. Love from our heart, which means we care for them. We just can't plant them and then never check on them. That wouldn't be good. So, everybody, are you ready to show me something? Everybody's yelling. Green thumbs, because we are green thumb gardeners. I'm going to clap for you. Great job. I hope everything you've been working on is sprouting or beginning to. I want to show you quickly. We have one of my trays of cucumbers is starting to germinate and coming up from the soil. So just be patient as a gardener. Things will grow as long as you care for them. You give them love from your heart, water so they're not thirsty, and light. Until the next time we see each other, have a great day, have fun planting, and I can't wait to spend time with you again. I miss you all, and I can't wait to eat all these vegetables. I don't know about you, but this is going to be some great year for vegetables. Have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye, friends.